I don't discriminate whether you're married, 18 or 80. I'll take anybody. Now I found something that makes me super happy, and even my family see how much happier I am.
So your family support what you do?
Super supportive.
So they don't like you?
No, they're super supportive.
But they don't like you?
It's like hard work to get this body count.
What is your body count? Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Michelle.
Hi, I'm Bonnie.
Lovely to meet you. Thanks for coming today. So I saw what you were doing online, and I thought it'd be nice to just have a sit-down conversation, pick your brain a bit, have a better understanding as to who you are and how you became who you are now.
Yeah, okay, good.
At what point did you start creating the content that you create?
Coming up 2 years ago now.
Okay.
So it's still not that long. I'm still very new to it.
And what were you doing previously?
Recruitment. Well, I had like 2 years off because I just relocated to Australia. So I had 2 years living by the beach, living like a nice life.
Yeah.
But then prior to that, my full-time job was recruitment.
And then what, because that's a big jump.
Yeah, a slight difference.
It's a big, like that's recruitment to, what would you classify yourself now, like work-wise, if someone says, what do you do for a living?
OnlyFans, but people call it prostitution, slut, slag, whatever.
Yeah.
So I take any word.
Oh, you're just happy with anything?
Yeah, like I'm not phased. Like when you do OnlyFans, no matter the length of your content, you can be called, oh, you're selling your body, you're a prostitute, you're a slut. Like, so I take any word that comes with it.
But essentially that's the truth though, isn't it? Like you are selling your body.
Yeah.
So you don't mind the repercussions of what comes with it?
No, it's hard work being a slut. Like I've earned the title.
So you enjoy being called a slut? Okay, so it's not like an offensive thing. So
No.
So you are like a professional hoe and you're happy about that?
Yeah, it's like hard work to get this body count.
What is your body count?
It's coming up to 2,000.
2,000 men?
Yeah, 2,000. It is high.
Okay, so what was your life like growing up? So prior to like everything that you've done, what was you like as a child?
Just like I had the most normal childhood. I have got like mum, dad, sister, lived in like a small village. We got like, I had hobbies alongside school. I wasn't naughty at school, but like, yes, I didn't do my homework. Like, yes, I'd be late for class. So it was just like a cheeky, but not naughty, not like mischievous or anything like that. Was doing like dancing alongside school. So very just normal childhood.
So was like any experienced trauma in your childhood that you can recall
like,
that would have...
Zero trauma, no daddy issues. People look into my past a lot and they're like, there must be something, like something must be happening.
Because it is a big thing to just go from like having this beautiful life in a village to people on camera. That's like...
It was a beautiful life, but God, it was boring. It's the same as everybody else's life. Like nothing happened.
Did you have a high sex drive growing up?
I wouldn't say it was that high. Like I was in a long-term relationship. So yes, I had a lot of sex, but it was just with my partner.
Yeah.
I lost my virginity quite young, but still there was no trauma around it. I just chose to lose my virginity young.
At what point when you were doing your recruitment?
Yeah.
Or what was it like? What ticked in your head that was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go and be a hoe.
I'm going to be a slut. Yeah. So like the whole time during recruitment, I just thought this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Everyone would come in and have stories and go, oh, in my past I did this, or oh, I want to do this in the future. And all I thought is, oh, I finished school. I've gone into apprentice in recruitment and now I'm going to do recruitment for the rest of my life. And I was like, is this as good as it going to get?
Well, no, because there's like a million other jobs.
Yeah, but still, it's still like for me, it was very office-based and money is shit.
But like you're a pretty girl. You could have gone into modelling, you could have gone into acting, you could have been like an influencer.
It's also very hard to get into that.
But so is people.
Not
constantly.
Really. Like, I love that and that's what I've got passion about.
You have passion about having multiple men entering your body on a continuous basis.
Multiple orgasms a day. Like sex is focused on pleasure and enjoyment. I just get a lot more of it than most people.
But how can you find pleasure in short spurts? Because was it 100 men that you had sex with?
I did 1,057.
How's it possible?
It was a lot of work. It was sort of like a rotation. Every 40 seconds, somebody new was inside of me.
You say that so blankly, like it was just like...
Well, because like for the logistics to work, it was very structured.
Yeah,
it
so how did you find pleasure in like short stops?
Like I love the idea that I don't know who's going to be inside of me. There was times I was in doggy and I'd turn around and I would have no idea who's in the back of me. And I love that.
That's disgusting.
I love it.
As a woman, there's just no self-respect there or like no self-worth at all. There's no value. Like there's no value inside of you for you to just be like, anyone can me.
Oh, there is. Like I value myself so much more now that I do this as opposed to in recruitment. when I worked in recruitment, I was given orders. I was told when I could have days off. If a family member was ill, I had to book that as annual leave to go and see them.
Yeah.
Now I get to spend unlimited time with my family and I get to do what I want to do.
Which is people.
Yeah. So if that includes 1,000 people that day, that's exactly what I do. Like, I'm in control. And I'm not saying this for everybody. I'm not saying you should 1,000 people, nor could you maybe do it. But if I want to do that, it's like my body and I take control of it.
Yeah,
and
of
as
course.
a woman, we all say about how if we feel empowered by something, we should do that.
Yeah.
I feel empowered when I'm disrespected by over 1,000 men. Like, I have to remind them, spit on me, slap me, choke me, pull my hair, because they're too polite to me.
It's like an act. Like, I don't genuinely think you could have slept with 1,000 men and be so happy about it.
Yeah, no, I was so happy. Like,
I feel like maybe you've done it for content, or maybe you've done it for like clout, or you've said you've done it just to say you've done it, but you
I can show you the video.
No, I'd pass on the video, thank you, because I think I'd be sick. But
Well, then you can't say it's not true.
I'm just saying, I can't fathom that actually being a thing. I couldn't imagine a woman happily allowing 1,000 men into her body and smile about it and say, well, I liked it. I didn't know.
So would
who
you
was
feel
inside
better
me.
if I was crying and upset about it?
No, I'd prefer if that's really your thing that you get off on.
Yeah.
That you just go and do it in private.
Why do I need to do it in private? I'm proud of it.
Yeah, but
it's
you
like
shouldn't
going, oh, I've done an amazing piece of art, but I should hide it away.
But it's not, because doing art and becoming a cum bucket is two completely different things.
No, it's very much art. Like, I see it as a performance.
It's not art.
It's fun.
It's not. People aren't going to pay to go to a theatre and watch you get dug out by a million men. It's just not. It's not art.
I think you find my bank balance disagrees with what you've just said.
I'm saying they wouldn't put it in a theatre.
Well, I'm actually doing my own theatre next month.
Oh,
so
yeah.
maybe you could come to that and you see the amount of men that pay to watch me be in a glass cage for 24 hours.
To do what in a glass cage?
Well, I'll just be like a zoo animal. They can come if they want to fuck me, they can fuck me. If they just want to stare at me, they're welcome to. But I'm going to be tied up in a glass box for a couple of days, and my body is for everyone. It's happening in June.
So you're going to get paid to be in a box and just let anyone do whatever they want to you?
Yeah.
And
Well, obviously I get paid once I make the video, but the actual act is completely free. I'm not saying, oh my God, for you to see me naked, you've got to pay loads of money. No, it's free of charge. Anybody can come.
Is there like a limit or a certain standard of man that can be around you?
No,
Or
as long as
inside
they're
of
of
you?
legal age, like, anybody and everybody's welcome. I don't discriminate. Whether you're fat, skinny, small, big dick, anyone.
Out of the 1,000 men, there was a lot of barely legal
Yeah.
boys. Do you not have a problem with the fact that they're literally borderline underage,
No, because they're 18.
but they're still children?
Yeah, but they're 18.
What if he was 17?
Well, then no, because that'd be illegal.
Would you still, if it wasn't on camera?
No.
No, so your limit is 18 years
Yeah.
old, but they are still...
I'd happily take someone like on their 18th birthday. Like, no problem.
How old
because
are
they're
you?
18, 25.
And you don't mind 18-year-olds?
No
Do you
problem.
not think it's damaging to them?
No, usually they'd have sex unprotected. Somebody they don't know, it could be on a one-night stand, they've been drinking, maybe drugs are involved. They're going into an unsafe environment that they don't know. That girl the next day could say, hey, I didn't consent to that. Hey, that was rape. Or, hey, you didn't know what you was doing and you actually hurt me.
Yeah.
Them having sex with me, I'm saying, look, use me as a guinea pig. Try and error, whatever you want. Because I'm consenting to this and I want to educate you on a woman's body. Because yes, you can learn sex education at school, but how much do you learn from a middle-aged teacher that's not been laid for years?
So you're just like a modern-day walk-in sex education lesson
Yeah,
for underage children?
Well, no, because they're 18.
Well, barely legal people, yeah.
And if you've got an issue with the age, then take it up with the government. Because I go by the rules, and the rules is 18.
Yeah, the rules is 18. Just because it's legal doesn't mean it's morally right.
So you've got an issue with the age gap.
But you're not in a relationship with these people. You're just barely legal people.
Yeah.
That is the problem. They're
It's
still
completely fine.
children. When they're barely legal, there should be some sort of respect or like a boundary in place. If you want to go around and exploit your body, that's completely up to you. Like I said, it's your body. But then you're exploiting children's bodies at the same time.
An 18-year-old's not a child's body.
Barely legal. They're still children. My nephew's 18. He's still a child.
I'll send him to me then.
No, I'd absolutely never do that.
Hopefully I'll find him in my queue one day.
No, I don't think he will, because he has like respect for himself. I don't know if something
The
you're
men
familiar
that they
with.
come see me have a lot of respect.
They don't, unfortunately. I know you might think they do.
How many of you asked that I've slept with?
I would never ask anyone that you've slept with, because I don't know
So you
anyone
don't know
you've
that
slept
you've not got respect.
I
This is
know
the thing,
enough by someone going and queuing up to fuck someone for 40 seconds, they don't have any respect for
Sometimes
themselves.
they have longer. I do it on a regular basis. But
Okay.
the women like to judge these men so heavily that queue and fuck me and everything else. No one's ever gone out of the way to ask them, how do you feel? Like, how does this make you feel? Or what's brought you here today? Nobody. Women just sit and judge these men for having sex with me without even knowing them. And that's one thing I don't do. I do not judge someone unless I've spoken to and met them. But women are more than happy to do that. And that's more of a reflection on them and you.
It's not about judging them, though.
You just said they have no respect for themselves.
No, but they don't. That's
judging
a statement.
them, saying they have no
respect.
respect.
That's a factual statement. That's not a judgment.
It's
I'm not judging.
factual when you don't know.
But it is factual, because to do something like that, to do what you do, it means you don't have any respect for yourself. To do what they
being a
did,
porn star?
It's not a porn star, though, is it?
Okay, what are we calling it? Prostitution?
Well, it's basically prostitution, isn't it?
Okay,
Modernised prostitution.
so prostitutes don't have respect for themselves?
Absolutely not. How can you sit there knowing you let 1,000 men have sex with you in 12 hours and say, I have respect for myself? Because you don't have respect for yourself. It doesn't matter whether you enjoy it or not. You can enjoy it with one man privately in your own home.
You don't need so boring. Just because I want to make a sex tape and post it, if I want to do that and the people I'm filming with consent to that, then I don't really see why people judge it.
Well, they are judging you, yeah, because it is discussing what you're doing. But that's just a fact. Again, it's not a judgment. I'm not.
No, that's your
it's
opinion.
Not my opinion. No, that's
opinion
a fact.
and facts are very different.
Yeah, exactly. My opinion is that I think you're actually a really pretty girl. My fact is that you are a whore and you are a prostitute. That's a fact.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is disrespectful and it's disgusting.
No,
that's
you
a
find
fact.
it disrespectful.
No. The world finds it disrespectful and disgusting. The only person who doesn't have a problem with it currently is you and any boy who's getting satisfaction from it, because
I wouldn't say the world.
Barely legal.
I'd say I've slept with obviously nearly 2,000 people.
Yeah.
They don't find it disgusting.
Of course they do. They probably think you're disgusting.
I've got over 600,000 subscribers and earn over 2 million a month. I think there's a lot of people that do not find it disgusting.
I bet every single one of them probably does find it disgusting, and they're probably disgusting themselves too.
I spend hours and hours a day speaking to them and getting to know them.
Yeah.
You're once again judging and assuming.
Allowing 1,000 penises into one vagina in 12 hours is disgusting.
But the more you talk about it, the more it turns me on.
Yeah, but that is disgusting too.
It's not. What, I'm turned on from something I've done?
Yeah. Publicly.
So sorry, should I sit here and cry that?
I don't want you to cry.
I took 1,000
it's not.
guys.
It's not about crying. You don't need to sit and cry that you fucked 1,000 guys. But there's a thing called shame, and we should probably bring that back. What you're doing is so damaging to women as a woman.
Well, women find everything to complain about. They'll cry about anything and everything nowadays.
Well, yeah, the world is a bit sensitive, but people on camera and like trying to glorify it is something that people should complain about. Women have worked so hard for years and years and years to stop being objectified sexually and to be shown that we are actually more capable of things than we're supposed to be than just as a sexualized object. And you're out here saying, actually, no, I'm a slut. I'll lay down and let anyone me. I have nothing to prove. I've got no self-worth. You don't have to value me at all. And everything we're working towards, you're just
really
disregarding
I'm helping the women out. So
no,
I'm saying,
you're literally
don't
ruining everything that we've worked towards.
I'm saying instead of, flirting with that woman across the road who doesn't want to be wolf whistled and is going to cry about the fact she had a wolf whistle, I'm saying just come and me.
But they're still going to do it. And the fact that you're normalizing the behavior of being a whore constantly is making men think, okay, women are more accessible now, and they think they have more chance with other women being like that because you're making it like it's a normal thing when it's not.
The other thing is, it's clearly not normal because not everyone 1,000 people.
Yeah.
But I, before every video, say, hey, this is what I enjoy. This is what I like. This is what I'm consented to.
Yeah.
This does not mean your wife at home and your wet wipes and girlfriends are going to enjoy this. But this is what I like. And this is my body. And as a woman, I'm taking control.
And that's absolutely fine, like I said, to do it privately. But to be out there so publicly with it, when there's little girls that are going to see this and maybe one day be confused or be stuck or in a rut somewhere where they're feeling a bit
about
bored.
5 years old, you could be a boy or a girl nowadays. If I want to 1,000 people and they see that, I don't think that's the biggest issue.
But it is though, isn't it? Because as a little girl, when you are growing up and you are confused or you don't know, or you might someone's in a dead-end job and they think they're going to look at you and might consider, okay, maybe I should just sell my body. It's the easy way out and I'll just be a whore too. That's not a great example to set for any person. And as a woman, you should try, especially a woman who has a platform that you have now, should try and do something to help women, to uplift women, to make us feel secure, to make us feel safe, and to make us feel empowered. Whereas you just say, actually, we're not empowering, just lay down and be a wet rag for everyone, and that's it.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, don't worry about having sex with your husband. I'll do it for you. I'm saving people a job.
But you're not, actually, because you're ruining people's marriages. Why would you want to someone's husband?
If their husband wants to sleep with me and not talk about it with their wife, their marriage is already There's nothing to do with me.
Yeah, of course. But why would you want to entertain that situation anyway?
Because if they're not having sex with their partner, I will happily do it on repeat.
Why?
I don't discriminate whether you're married, 18 or 80. I'll take anybody.
You'd fuck an old man.
Oh yeah, of course I would. Old men deserve sex. I mean, the wife might be dead.
So you really will just have sex with anybody in this whole world?
Well, some like this last few days with my grandma, like if I was walking around Hyde Park and someone was like, oh, go on, should we do a quick gangbang? I would say, oh no, can I feed the birds first with my grandma, then meet me back at mine? Like, obviously it's not every single day.
Yeah.
Like, I could not physically take 1,000 guys every day. I'd probably be split in half. But like on the days I want it, I'll have it.
But that's what I mean. Isn't that something that you'd want to do privately though? Why did you try and glorify? That's my only issue. It's not that you want to 1,000 men because like I said, it's your body, do what you like. But it's the fact that you try to glorify it. Like it's a beautiful thing that you're doing. Like every woman should do it, but it's not.
No, but I'm not saying every woman. I've never said that.
But you're saying if that's what you enjoy, you should go and do it.
Yeah, because if you enjoy something, I'm not saying that's 1,000
But what
men.
about if I said I really enjoy murdering people? Should I just go around and kill everyone?
No, because that's illegal. The difference is what I'm doing is legal.
Okay, but morally, take illegality out of it. Morally, they're both very wrong things to be doing.
Morals aren't factual. Everyone has different morals.
Yeah.
For some people, because I'm not religious, they're like, oh my God, you're going to hell.
Yeah.
Like, I've slept with 1,000 people. Oh, so now I'm going to hell. Like, morals aren't factual.
Okay.
So if you said, I enjoy murdering
But naturally,
people,
as humans, we are born with a set of morals. Naturally.
Well, I don't think I was born at 1 year old thinking I'm going to have a gangbang. Like,
No,
that
of course
wasn't in my
not.
head.
But that's what I mean. Along the way, somewhere during your lifetime, you have lost your morals.
I enjoy it, and I'm doing nothing wrong. I'm not hurting anybody. If anything, I've got liquid evidence of doing the opposite.
You're not hurting anybody, but you are damaging society.
I'm draining balls and sucking dick. That's what I'm doing. I'm not damaging society.
But you're doing it publicly.
Yeah, of course.
And you're trying to glorify it, but you shouldn't be proud of it. It's not.
I live a very glamorous life, so why would I not glorize it?
Because you're making money off of being by barely legal boys.
And you don't think girls try and have sex all the time and have sex to work the way to the top?
Work the way to the top of what?
Just the businesses. Like, people have sex all the time. It's not just to earn money for OnlyFans. Like, I've worked in offices. People have had promotions because they've had sex with their boss. I've met multiple rappers and singers. They've got girls literally in their DMs begging to have sex with them just to get a bit of attention, a bit of money.
Yeah.
And they're doing that behind the closed doors.
But this is because we're in a generation now where women have been told that it's okay to sexualize our bodies, and we're going backwards.
Women
We've got this whole
unfortunately-
OnlyFans thing now where everyone's just like glorifying being a prostitute.
Yeah, but I personally see like women have been sexualized all the time. From
Exactly. And
young
we
age,
worked
which is wrong.
so hard to bring ourselves out of that so that we weren't just sexualized beings. Men used to go to war for women because of how respected and loved we were. Now all they have to do is pay £5 a month.
OnlyFans to me was a platform which allows women to be empowered and take control back.
So if you weren't getting paid and you weren't getting any clout, would you still do what you do?
Oh, I'd still do gangbangs, yeah.
Would you still 1,000 men in a day?
Yeah, because I want to test my body.
Why don't you test if you can run a marathon?
No, I'm not having a midlife crisis. I don't need to do a marathon.
So do you want to have children?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure. Like before, I was fixated. I was like, oh, to be happy, you need to be married. Then you have children, and then, that's sort of what life is. But now, I don't know.
So you don't know if you have kids?
No, I don't know.
If you were to have children and you had a son,
yeah,
and he turned 18, how would you feel if he slept with someone like you?
Yeah, I'd love it.
You'd love it.
Yeah, obviously
So
not me. I don't want to sleep with my actual son, but
Yeah, of
I would
course.
send him to a prostitute, sluts, whoever. I'd put him in someone
So
else's
you'd prefer
queue.
him to prostitute than just fall in love nicely with a nice girl and have sex
How
that way?
unrealistic is that to say? Who falls in love at 18, gets married and has sex with loses their virginity to the person they get married? Does not happen.
I mean, it probably happens more than people that 1,000 men in a day. And if you had a daughter and she said, Mummy, I want to be just like you,
yeah.
and you'd be happy and you'd watch your daughter just everyone.
Yeah, I'd obviously explain the benefits, the downsides to it, the dangerous potential. I'll explain every aspect. If they choose to do that, I will raise my daughter to be independent and to follow her dreams. If that is to 1,000 people, I'll be there with a banner supporting her the whole way.
That is really scary. It's not about, oh, you know what, I don't really like that sandwich, but you like that sandwich, so we can agree to disagree. It is wrong. Hands down, point blank, period. It's wrong.
your period.
And it's disgusting.
Okay.
And it's not something that should be glorified, and it's not something that should be pushed, and it's definitely not something that we should encourage our children to be doing, especially our daughters. As a woman to a woman,
Why especially our
raising
daughter?
our
Why are
child,
we making any difference between male and female?
because it is completely different.
if a guy wants to f someone and a girl wants to f someone,
Yeah.
it's completely the same. This
No,
is what
it's
I don't
not. Do we
understand.
both have vaginas?
No, one's got
goes
got a pussy.
inside and one gets entered, and
God,
one
and dicks get sore as well. Like I've worked with porn
I never
stars.
said that they don't get sore.
So it's the same.
But it's
my
an
point
energy transfer.
Is male and female are the same. We need to start treating them as the same
But
people.
they're not the same.
They are. If they want 1,000 guys or 1,000 girls, it's completely up to them.
How would you explain to your husband who you are and what you do?
I mean, he'd probably already know. And he's probably going to be someone that I've already slept with or that's been in the queue beforehand.
Has there anyone who's ever been in the queue beforehand that you actually did like or find attractive and pursued further?
Yeah.
How many?
Multiple times.
Okay. What, like romantically or just sexually?
Like romantically, gone on dates with, like continued to see afterwards. Like the people in my queue, and I could sort of understand. I used to think when I first got into this industry, I started off camming. I thought, oh, it's just going to be disgusting men online that are just weird. Like in my head, I was just thinking of like fat, ugly, smelly weirdos, probably quite old men. And then when I just started camming online, I was like, oh my God, these are normal people. These are people you'd pass in the street and not think twice of.
Yeah.
Like they're just good looking, normal guys. And each guy's got a different story. Like when I was on cam, some of them were just lonely. Some of them, they just had children and their wife was so busy looking after them that they hadn't been like sexually active, which is fine. You don't want to put pressure on your wife. Like obviously you should not do that. So then they just wanted to come online and speak to somebody. So they wasn't weird. They just wanted to have a connection and just have some intimate moment with somebody. Other people, their wife didn't want to have sex anymore, but he still absolutely adored her, but he wanted,
sexual activity.
Yeah, for sure.
So do you condone cheating?
Yeah.
You condone cheating?
There's always different scenarios with cheating. But yeah, before I'd have been like, oh, if your partner cheats, he doesn't love you. He doesn't want to be with you. But then when I started becoming a sex worker and I'd speak to so many men, they'd be like, no, I absolutely adore my wife. I adore my children. But she doesn't want to have sex anymore. But as a guy, he's still had needs. He still wanted to have sex. So for him, going to a sex worker was much better, and I completely agree, than having an intimate affair with somebody you work with, somebody you see on a regular basis. If it's a slut like me, there isn't a connection. I probably won't even remember you the next day. So for them, they were just paying for a service, just like you would any other appointment, and then you're leaving. Yeah. It wasn't getting emotionally connected to me. It was just I'm a cum bucket. Come on, me, leave, go back to your wife. And then they're sort of refreshed. They're ready to go again with their crazy life at home. So it's not because they don't love their wife and children, but it was a de-stress for them. And
then how about if you were married and you just had children and then your husband went and f***ed someone else? Would you still have that same mindset?
Yeah.
So I don't think you would.
So this is the thing, everyone says to me, I don't think you would. Oh my God, you're a suicide case waiting to happen. Oh, in the future this.
I mean, in the future, there is going to be long-term detrimental effects to what you're doing.
Everyone just talks about long-term. If I'd have said to you, I want to sleep with 1,000 men, you would have said to me, you're not going to be okay after that. You'll not be smiling, you'll not be walking out. I did sleep with 1,000. I am smiling, I am happy. We can't sit here and have a conversation and go, in the future this, in the future that. Like, nobody knows. However, when I do speak about sex work so proudly, people are still like, oh, you must be lying. Like, I very clearly live a very happy life. Even though it pisses everyone off that I do this and I do it so proudly, I'm okay with it. And I'm not promoting it for other people. I'm saying you probably can't do it. You're probably not hot enough, probably not got the cardio strength in the bedroom because, God, it's a lot of work. But I'm saying this is what I do and I'm happy. So no, I'm not a suicide case waiting to happen or, the
only long-term effect for me is every time you have a sexual encounter with anybody and a man enters you, there is DNA, there is traces of DNA. They live up to in your side of you for like 7 years.
Yeah.
And there's also an energy transfer. I don't know if you're spiritual. I probably don't think you are at all. No. But spiritually, there is an energy transfer. And it's very hard if you even sleep with 2 or 3 men to maintain any sort of real connection with anybody because you have shared energies inside of you plus all the shared DNA. So for you to have thousands inside of you all at once, mentally, over the years, it will have an impact. You will probably lose your character. You probably wonder why you don't feel right all the time. And it's because you have this massive energy bulge of just thousands and thousands of different men inside of you all living at once, coexisting.
That's something I'd wank over and I've got all their energy inside of me. But like, I don't know many girls that've got a body count less than 2 or 3.
No, not many, but like there's...
So then everyone's fucked.
Do you not see that there's clearly some sort of trauma there? There's something that's unhinged and not right inside because obviously if it was a normal thing, everyone would be doing it. But for it to be this extreme, there is something not right there. that is going to click one day, and it is going to bite you in the arse, and you are going to feel the repercussions of your actions, because
it's just not going to happen.
It is. Whether it's a week or a year or 10 years from now, you are going to look back and
you also could be hit by a bus next year and die.
I mean,
you can't live your life going, oh, what if this happens? Oh, this is going to come back and get you. But
no, but we are supposed to live our lives morally right, and we try and do right by ourselves, especially by ourselves, let alone anybody else. We come first. So to carry yourself with no value. No.
See, I would have been upset with myself if I stayed in recruitment, stayed in my marriage, stayed in the fancy house I brought in.
But no, I don't want you to live an unhappy life.
No, but I would have got older and thought, okay, yes, I've been well respected. Everyone, really values me.
Yeah.
And yes, my morals and values look like they're completely intact. I would have got older and thought, what have I done in life that was for me? What have I been super passionate about? Like, I wasn't, but now I found something that makes me super happy. And even my family see how much happier I am.
So your family support what you do?
Super supportive.
So they don't like you?
No, they're super supportive.
But they don't like you. They might support what you do. Because genuinely anybody who cared about you, your mom, your dad, your sister, your partner, anybody who cared about you wouldn't encourage what you're doing.
I'm not saying, oh my God, go and sleep with 1,000 people. However, I'm an independent woman.
Of course,
so if I decide to go and do that,
yeah,
they're just going to be there to support me.
No, that's not how caring for somebody works. If I see someone spiraling, somebody I genuinely care about spiraling down a path of self-destruction,
yeah,
I am going to step in and I'm going to say, babe, listen, what you're doing is wrong. You are going to regret it. It's not healthy. It's not great. It's really bad. You look atrocious.
Yeah,
I'd be very honest with them, and I would do everything in my power to help them come off of that and to live a nice, humble life again, where they won't destroy themselves.
So that's like, it just goes back to your opinion. But my family is super supportive. They always have been.
But then are they just supportive because now they just see you as an exploitation for financial gain? If you was a broke person, you lived in a normal house and you was doing this and you weren't making any money, they wouldn't support you.
They would.
They would reel you in, and I don't feel like they would support you. I feel like you're just.
I've known my family my whole life. You've never even spoke to them. Like I said, you like to make all these assumptions.
Yeah.
Like the men are disgusted. Oh, your family don't support you. Yeah.
No, I just said your family do support you, but because
they don't like
exploiting you for an financial gain.
Sorry, my family don't like me.
But no, they can't like you.
But I'm sat here telling you they do. So I don't care how you need to swallow that.
Yeah.
They do. Okay. But like I said, I could sit here and tell you my family are very much in my life. Whether you accept that or not, I don't care. But they are. They're very supportive. They adore me. They just want me to be happy. And that is it. It's as simple as that.
So how do you see your career going, like, in the future? Like, do you have bigger goals? Do you have, like, is it going to be like 2,000 men now, or is it just...
Honestly, I don't know. Like, what I've, achieved in the last 6 to 12 months, I didn't even know was possible for me. Even in terms of, like, I've currently got a documentary being made and TV crew follow me near enough just about everywhere, and even the money aspect. And my life in general has improved so much over the last 6 to 12 months that the goals I've hit wasn't even in my 5 to 10 year plan, but I've now achieved it in 6 months. So it's hard to say this is what the next 5 years are going to look like. And there's never really been a sex worker like me.
Is your whole life just content sex?
I have like some personal sex, but I generally don't have that much sex off camera. Like there's the occasional time, but like, no, I'm not having like crazy gangbangs all the time off camera. So I enjoy videoing it as well. Like it's for work and yes, I get paid, but I love watching the videos back. Like the first thing I do after gangbangs is like, I want to see the footage. I want to see the clips. You'd be disgusted and revolted by it.
Yeah,
me,
absolutely.
I love it. I'm like, oh my God, look how much I'm being stretched out.
I don't think I could watch it.
Look at that guy's dick touching my eyeball.
My heart would hurt watching that for you.
I find it fun. Like recently I dwarf. I went upside down. I had 4 other porn stars and another guy twisting him whilst he's inside of me. And I just thought that was so much fun. I was like, what better thing could I be doing on this evening as opposed to being upside down with a hanging out of my pussy?
So obviously we are very different. So we're going to have completely different opinions on that. But why do you think that most women hate you?
Because I'm a sex worker, because I speak so proudly of it. Like, yeah, it might be because I've slept with their husband and son, but as a whole, it's because I'm so proud of what I do and the way I speak about it.
Yeah.
And when I look at these videos online, one of the main things they say is, oh, if this was a guy saying it, he'd be arrested. Oh, you're only getting away with this because you're a woman. Guys have sexualized women from the early stage. Like schoolgirl content has always been the thing that's always been trending on porn. Suddenly I'm a woman. Yes, it makes me feel empowered. I know you don't agree, but I'm suddenly saying, hey, I'm the older woman and I'm going to sexualize schoolboys. Yeah. And the women have got an issue with that. Yeah, I never see a TikTok of them going, oh my God, I was scrolling on the hub the other day and there was a schoolgirl that was sexualized by an older guy, because that is so common to us.
Yeah, it is very common.
Yet suddenly I've caused the biggest uproar because I've sexualized schoolboys. And in my head, I'm like, they're the same thing. Whether you think it's right or wrong, I can't understand that these women are banging on saying, I want things to be equal.
Yeah.
Yet have an issue with me as opposed to the schoolgirls that are being sexualized.
But there is an issue with schoolgirls being sexualized. It's always
But they're not the ones that are causing the uproar.
No, I know. The reason you're causing an uproar is because as women, we know what it was like to be sexualized as a schoolgirl. To then go and do it to schoolboys, knowing that it's wrong and it's detrimental to them, especially to like...
The schoolgirls that continue to be sexualized, they don't have an issue with that. They're never speaking about it.
I actually speak about it quite often. I speak about it on podcasts and stuff. I know a few people that I know personally do speak about the overly sexualized of, especially when you were in school uniform. You could have made so much money with your dignity and your pride still intact, your vagina still intact, everything's still
very, very tight.
I can't imagine it. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, what? So you're saying the women that then have had children, they're not tight?
No, because they naturally bounce back if you understand how the woman's body works. After
so they're in
after
labour
they have a child.
Sometimes they're in labour for 4 or 5 days. I was only being for 12 hours.
And it's not even just the 12 hours, because you can for 12 hours, but fucking 1,000 men, different shapes and sizes. It really is damaging.
So anybody
to your
that's
vagina.
with a guy that's got like a 12-inch dick, what, they're just a gaping hole?
Not really, because like I said, our vaginas get used to one penis.
Well, I don't think they do. My vagina will take anybody's and everyone's.
Exactly, and that's why it will misshape and it will rearrange it. If you're constantly taking different penises, different shapes, different sizes, different
And how long have you been a doctor for?
I'm teaching you something about the woman's body and you're saying, oh, but you're not a doctor, da, da, da. But I'm telling you something that you can go and learn in a book, which is how I learned in a book.
You can't get that. You can't look at someone and go, you know what, you've got 2 months left to live, off you go.
No, of course not, because I'm not a doctor.
Test, and you have to actually see for yourself.
Yeah.
I'm saying, let's get our pussies out, let's get a dick in, and we can ask the guy who's tighter.
I'm pretty sure I know the answer. So you got banned from Australia?
Yeah, I got given a 3-year ban.
And what was that over?
I was bonking barely legals.
Okay.
So 18-year-olds.
But how would you get banned if it's legal?
So they can actually just discriminate against anybody. Comedians have been banned in the past, people with certain social media backgrounds. Like, you don't have to actually break the law, which I learned. So there was a petition that started to say, get Bonnie Blue banned from Australia because she's sleeping with guys that are underage and not consenting. So when this petition started, I dismissed it because I was like, okay, well, they are consenting and they are of legal age. This petition got 35,000 signatures in just a few days. It was from a lot of angry parents because I was promoting, saying, hey, I'm going to be in Australia. Like, I want to sleep with 18-year-olds. And the petition caused a lot of attention and uproar, and it meant my visa got taken off me. But at the time, like I said, I thought, well, unless you're breaking the law,
there's nothing wrong with what you're doing.
There's nothing wrong. But it turns out comedians and people with certain backgrounds have been banned. Like, you don't have to break the law.
You just have to do something immorally wrong.
Not that, like, comedians have made jokes and they've not liked it.
Immorally wrong.
So many different reasons.
Okay. So you can't go for 3 years now.
3
Did
years.
you actually manage to have sex with anyone while she was out there?
So I lived in Australia for 4 years prior to that.
Yeah.
So I've many people in Australia.
But I thought you only started your content 2 years ago.
Yeah, but I started sex with people in Australia. Like we said, you can do it for fun.
Okay, but were you like very active before you started? What was your body count before you started this?
Very, very low.
Okay, so you weren't always a whore?
No, not always. I very much enjoyed sex, but that was as far as it went.
Okay, well, thank you for coming today. It was a very interesting conversation. Mm-hmm. Definitely the most outlandish one I think I've ever had in my life.
Yeah. I say the one thing I'm hoping is you do the stop assuming and you actually experiment.
With sex?
Just in general, if you're going to interview someone, probably do a more in-depth background check. I mean, you can really go in depth with me, like really deep.
Yeah, I can imagine. Mm-hmm. But mine wasn't an assumption. Mine were more educated guesses or facts.
Assumptions.
Okay, but yeah, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.